Hello friends! So in this video, I'll be going over our research paper prompt. So as you can see, this page here has particularities. We have deadlines and also some sample essays to check out to get some ideas about this assignment. Please be so kind as to open here where it says prompt and follow along. I happen to have it open already. So let's go ahead and dive in here. And this is a issue solution paper, so check it out. Throughout the span of time, humankind has continually had to seek out solutions to issues at hand. For example, the telephone was invented to facilitate a streamlined method of communication across vast distances. The microwave was brought forth as a tool for quickly heating up meals, etc. Our species has always had to adapt to issues as they arise, from serious ones to lighter ones. We as a people have managed to move forward through ingenious invention and collaboration. This assignment is an opportunity for you to put your own foot forward by offering your own solution to an issue/problem. What makes this project research is the fact that you're required to draw from a minimum of 4 secondary sources to introduce your explored issue and support your proposed solution. So for example, if I was arguing for the importance of switching over to an electric car, I would draw from my secondary sources to frame the environmental harm caused by fossil fuels. I'd use my research to explain how oil is the most consumed form of fossil fuel for energy conversion. I would then move to forward the fact that our planet has a limited fossil fuel reserve. Thanks to my front-loading the reader with the context behind my chosen issue, I would then draw from my research to support my argument for switching over to an electric car. Okay, step 1. Choose an issue of something that you care about. I would even go a step further. If it's something that directly affects you, it's much easier to write. I can give you an example. So sadly, I've had my car stereo stolen quite a bit. Well, like two times actually. So then it made me consider safety, and I got one of those radios that you can remove. But anyways, the point is that's something that hits close to home. Another one too. Maybe you have someone with autism in your family, so perhaps you are concerned with something that relates to that. Another one, maybe you're interested in the topic of health, so maybe you're exploring the issue of anxiety and depression, and you're proposing exercise and eating clean. So there's many issues, and as you're going to see in the librarian's video, there's a database called Opposing Viewpoints that offers a lot of issues that we can look at for ideas even. So choose something that you care about, and you're going to talk about, here are the harms of this issue. Like for example, in the sample that I give here, with global warming, right? We talk about the greenhouse effect, but in this instance, if I'm focusing on cars, the main thing is if you focus on an aspect of the issue, it's that much easier. So let's say I'm looking at the issue of cars, fossil fuel cars, and how they contribute to this greenhouse effect. So as you can see, I listed over the main harm. So how, fossil fuel is limited. Or you might also talk about how it's harmful, because of the greenhouse effect. But then, okay, if I say, how can I directly counter these harms of this fossil fuel vehicle? In this instance, if we're talking about, say, electric vehicle, we say, okay, cool, renewable source of energy, something that's not finite like a fossil fuel, cool. So that counters that aspect that we said fossil fuel is limited. The other one, if we say, how burning fossil fuels causes greenhouse effect and contributes to climate change, then we say, okay, cool. So then electric cars can counter that. So if you choose an aspect of an issue that you're interested in, that will make all the difference. What we wish to do for the actual research aspect, we're bringing in information. Remember we talked about intertextuality, how we're creating this larger conversation with these voices, right? And these voices, these sources that you want to bring in a little bit more about your issue. So not only what is the issue, but how did it arise? And then ultimately you want to zero in on why is it a big deal, right? What's at stake? And when we say solution, it's something that can help with it. So you don't have to fix entirely the issue, but if you're proposing something that can help with it, then that's sufficient. So what is it? How will it work? What will it take to bring it about? Does it need time, management, legislation? You tell me. So at least 4 pages, double space, you'll be writing. Try to use at least 2 of those from our school database. Here's the points, 125 for the essay. Peer workshop will have as usual. Correct MLA, 5. So 150. Here's the rubric. Here's the dates. And yeah, as you can see, the first thing we got is our outline coming up. Please check out the rubric. I want to go, once again, you can look at the sample essays. And I want to take a look at the outline, because I think this is a very helpful worksheet that's going to help your planning. So as you can see here, we have our brainstorming part of our worksheet. So start with saying, what's the issue that you're addressing? Sorry, my video here went away. Let me put it here. Awesome. Let's return. Oh, excellent. So you say, what's the issue you're addressing? Why it's significant? Who does this issue affect? And the big thing for this is you want to zero in on something that is sufficiently small. So let's say you're interested in homelessness. Wow, that's big. Homeless around the world is massive. So why don't you focus on, say, LA County or California? The smaller your parameters, the easier your project will be. The other thing, too, you want to consider, okay, if, let's say this is a local issue that I'm focusing on, is there anywhere else in the world, is there anywhere else in the country that they're doing better with this issue? Maybe you're looking at anxiety and depression. So you could be like, okay, where in the world are they ultimately like happier? Like there's a list. For some reason, always the Scandinavian countries are like happier. They in the happiness index, so they tend to be happier. So what is it about over there that we can possibly implement here? Another example too. Let's say you're doing like obesity and specifically, school lunches, how the fact that at school lunches we have frozen food and just oftentimes even processed foods. If you look at a place with better school lunches, Japan comes to mind. They're using fresh ingredients. So how can we implement something that they're doing there here? Does that make sense? So consider, okay, my issue, let's say it's local. Where are they doing better with this issue? And what can we do that they're doing to bring it over here? Does that make sense? So think of it like that. What's the solution? Something that will help with the issue. Remember, you want to counter the harms. You're like, okay, if the aspect of my issue that I'm focusing on has this, the harms are this, that, and the third, then what I'm proposing will curb it, will directly push back against that, X, Y, Z in this way. So correspondence is the name of the game here. So, 2, what research will you use? So essentially, what information will help you contextualize your issue? Also, what will help you contextualize your solution? So offer support about what it is, what it will take to enact, and all of that. Here in bold is your main task, right? You want to remember with your thesis, if you're asked something, if you have a central task or question, then you answer it in the thesis, right? So write it here. What's the issue? Make it clear. What are its harms? X, Y, Z. What are you proposing to help with it? And how will that directly push back against those harms? So how will the solution be beneficial to this issue, right? You might want to introduce it with, some statistic or something. Maybe you're doing like, I don't know, vaping and young adults or maybe teens, maybe vaping in teens. Maybe you can offer a statistic here about how it does have nicotine still, and maybe some statistic about how many teenagers vape in the United States or California, or LA County, wherever you want to focus on. And then this part is how do you want to what information do you want to offer to introduce the topic, and then the thesis, right? Make it clear, what's the issue you're proposing, what's the issue you're addressing, its harms, and then what you're proposing to help with that. So the next part is you can piece together your actual essays. Remember how body paragraphs are supporting your project, which is what you have here. So topic sentence is, what is your paragraph about? Supporting evidence is what will you use to support whatever your paragraph's about, your claim, right? Maybe that comes from, like I said, some article or book or something that you looked at, a website, credible source, right? Analysis is how you will put this together. So once again, topic sentence is what your paragraph is about. Supporting evidence is what you will use to support this claim within your topic sentence, which is what your paragraph is about. And analysis is how you will use that. I have here an example, like maybe one way you can craft your paper. So if one is maybe a little bit about the issue, understanding the issue. 2, why this issue matters. The other one about tell me about the solution, benefits and feasibility of the solution. You don't need to have necessarily 5 body paragraphs. Usually students have intro, conclusion, and 3 body paragraphs, but this is just in case you wanted to. And obviously you want to conclude with the so what, right? After reading all this, here's why this matters. Once again, you want to zero in on an issue that you truly care about. That'll make this assignment that much easier. Even more so than just saying, oh, that seems cool or that seems interesting. If you can choose an issue that hits close to home, that'll be that much easier to write about. Obviously, like I said, the so what, restate your thesis. Any of your sources, you can put them here so you can remember, okay, I gotta make a work cited for this. So that's the main thing. Remember, talk about what is the issue, how it arose, why it's a big deal, what are you proposing to help with it. Once again, the name of the game is correspondence. So, the aspect of my issue, the main harms are X, Y, Z. What I'm proposing will directly help. So it's like what I'm proposing, this will help with X, this will help with Y, this will help with Z. Say how, right? Connect it. That, my friends, is the final assignment. Please let me know if you have questions.